Next thing is high test bars. What is a high test? Well, real simple. It's when a stock really tries to go higher and it tries to take on new ground and it hits into resistance, or it just runs into sellers. In other words, sellers see this as an opportunity to just sell the stock out. So it tries to run higher. People who are already holding the stock look at this as a good opportunity to cash out. It tries to go higher and just gets slapped down and and the stock actually closes towards the low end. So if we look at this in terms of an example, the intraday range tests is high and then it closes obviously considerably lower. You've got two flavors again. You've got the seller high test bar. It's a seller bar, so it tries to go up higher, then closes down towards the low end, and you can see that obviously turns it into a seller bar and a high test. It tries to go up throughout the day and then gets closed, where the close here is towards the lower end of the range. The buyer high test bar, which is bearish, is less bearish than the previous bar because it does actually close higher than what it opened. But notice this is the main action that we care about. It tried to go up and it failed, and it came right back on itself, which suggests that the price will continue to drop, or will now drop. So let's have a look at the practical. Notice the first one here, and you can see that even though it's a buyer high test bar, it's green, it tests up, but look, it closes right towards the low. Maybe I'll zoom in on this, might be slightly easier for you guys to see. And you can see, look, notice it opens, goes all the way up, and then comes down and closes towards the lows. And then, of course, the stock starts to then move back. Let's look at the next one. This is another good example. You can see here, it opens, tries to go up, and then closes lower, sending the stock down. Another good example here. Although buyers win, it's still a bearish signal, sends the stock lower. Look at the second practical here. These nice obvious signals. Notice here, tries to go up higher, closes lower off the highs, and then sends the stock down. Same thing here and here. Looking at practical 3, again, simple buyer bars, so that you'd expect them, of course, to be bullish, but of course they're not. It's bearish because they close towards the lower extremities of the bars, and of course they're sending the bars down, or sending the price action down every time one of these is triggered. Notice where the bar finishes here, it goes up, closes lower. Same thing here, stock moves down, and again, high tests, closes lower. And notice that the high testing is really proportional or relational to the actual size of the bar. If the bar is a medium-sized bar in itself, if those ranges are closing, they're testing up and then closing lower towards the lower end of the price bar, then we still expect that activity to take place. Yeah, Vicky.
Greg, I mean, just ballpark, how far up or down the stem should the price be before you can say, it's a low or high test? Because I was looking at, really deep crosses, whereas I can see you're a bit more flexible. Yeah,
you really want to split the bar into 4. So, so if you look at, let me just draw a bar on here. Imagine it in 4 sections like this. And if it opens here and tests up here, and if this is the 50% mark, okay, and then this is the 25% mark, anywhere between the 50% mark and down, if it's tested up and it has a nice long run on the bar, then we're good to go. That's really what we're looking for. Yeah. And we can see them again here. Nice high test bars, nice buyer high test bars all the way down here. So they're good high tests. And this one with the downtrend here, you can start to see there's a bit of a trend movement on it, so it could potentially add to our trading pattern and give us some entry signals. Again, all we're looking at is the pattern at this point in time. Nice high test, sending the price lower every time after the high test. So they're the buyer high test bars. The buyers won the bar, but they are in themselves bearish because the test is high and then it closes lower towards the lower ranges. Let's have a look now at seller high tests, which are really the ultimate bearish bar. The price tests again higher, it gets sold off, and this time it actually closes lower than the opening price, painting the bar red and making it a real seller bar off. So okay, let's have a look at finding some of these seller high test bars. I'm going to pick on someone. Vicky, how about you? Can you tell us where the first high test seller bar is? Now this is particularly bearish, so it should send the price south as soon as it triggers.
I think the first one is the high point on the highest price on the left-hand side of the chart.
So really the 29th of June, that sort of area there? Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, it's straight on there. So it opens, high tests up and closes just lower than the open. Look what happens to the price after that. It just rockets down. So absolutely right. The first one's there. Let's have a look at the second one. Second one is pretty much here. You can see, just notice, and again, there's a resistance line through here, which is obviously hit and fallen off, and immediately sent the price down. Who can find the next one? Let's say Keen. Can you tell us where the next high test seller bar is, which would send the price falling?
5th of November.
You got it, 5th of November, exactly. There it is. Let's just zoom in on that bar so we can see it. And you can see it's opened, up it's gone, and then it's closed down here. So, yeah, you can see pretty much that stock is then just shot down as soon as that point has triggered, and you'll see that was the net effect. All right, let's have a look at practical 2. So again, we're looking for seller bars. Okay, so it's closing lower than the closing lower than the open, and we're looking at the net effect on price action there. So the first one here is a little one here, which sends the price down, but there's a much better one up here, which then sends it down, and we can see a final one here towards this part of the chart, which then really pushes the price action down in practical 2. Jumping on to practical 3, and very simply we see the first one here. Where's the next one, Chris?
Say about 1st to the 11th, or just after that.
Yeah, just after the first, about there, isn't it? Sort of 1st to 12th. That's right. Nice high test, seller bar, and look what happens to the price action after that. Just literally, falls away. And finally, practical 4, we're looking for the seller high test, and we pretty much have one here, which causes a small movement. Second one here, again a small movement, but the third one really causes the price action to push towards the moving average there.